Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing with you week 3 and week 4 after having a laminectomy and fusion in the L4, L5, S1 area. Now week 3, you're probably going to be transitioning from using a cane to maybe not using a cane as much. I definitely was still using the cane going up and down the stairs, but once I reached upstairs or downstairs, I may have put it on my arm and walked around, or I might have put it aside on the wall, leaning against the wall, and I would walk around the main floor by myself or upstairs from my bedroom to the washroom by myself. I kind of walked around with it on my arm just in case I needed it if I tripped or fell. Before having surgery, I did experience a lot of drop foot, so I was concerned that maybe I would still have it after surgery. I didn't find I had too bad of a drop foot. I actually found that my control was a lot better. Week 3 and week 4, you're really regaining a lot of strength still. So you're encouraged to do as much walking as you possibly can. Again, I'm just a little west of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and it's winter here, so I didn't have the option to go outside. Well, I did, but it was cold and icy, so I kind of didn't have the option. If it snowed, I'd stay inside. If it was cold and rainy or wet, I'd stay inside. And so I just kind of walked around my house as much as possible. At the week 3, midweek 3, I kind of was transitioning into making my own meals for lunch as well. You kind of have to think ahead, ask your kids or your friends or whoever to get things from the bottom and put them on the top, just so they're ready for you. You're still not able to bend, lift, or twist. You're still in week 3 and 4, so none of that is happening, and you really don't want to do any of that. So in the kitchen, I would ask, my boys who are at home to bring pots or pans out, depending on what I wanted to make the next day. So you kind of would think ahead to make sure it's all prepared. Anything obviously at waist height level was good. Anything you had to reach for, you would ask to have it prepared and ready for yourself there. So I was able to make easy things for lunches, make my tea in the morning and the afternoon, which was a great feeling. You do start to get a little bit of independence, but you do have to remember you're still in pain. Week 3 and week 4, I found I still was in pain. You still feel the incision. I still was taking Tylenol every day at this point, and was like a little bit concerned, should I still be taking Tylenol at this point? But you know what, for me, I needed it. So I was taking extra strength Tylenol every day, 8 hours apart, and I was still experiencing some nerve pain in my big toes, more so on my left side, because that was more the side that got affected, even though it was more my right piriformis and sciatica. But I was experiencing some throbbing in my big toes, and honestly, it was weird because when my medication wore off, I would know ahead of time because the nerves in my big toes would start to throb. Again, at nighttime, it was happening more so, and it was also more painful at nighttime. Your incision still hurts. Whether you kind of, lean too far forward when you brush your teeth, you feel it, and it pulls and it kind of hurts still. It's still healing. It's going to be a while before it's still healing. And also, you are really going to feel the metal hardware in your back. The best way I could describe it, honestly, is that you have rods and screws in your back, but it almost feels like you have a solid metal plate in your back. Because for me, I felt that hardware every time I slept. Every time I got up and down from bed, log rolling, or swinging my legs over, I could really feel it, and it really just felt like a metal plate in my back. So you're really aware of your incision and your hardware for week 3 and week 4. So week 3, again, you're transitioning. Week 4, I was probably not using my cane for much, honestly. Even going up and down the stairs, I was starting to gain a little more confidence going up and down the stairs. I may have still kept the cane and just done it for the stairs, but definitely up and down, like walking around my main floor and walking around in my upstairs was getting better. Your muscle strength is starting to regain a little bit, so that's why you're able to do a little bit more. But again, still no bending, still no lifting, and still no twisting. And you might still be taking pain medication. Again, this is my story. I'm just sharing it to others to see, maybe you're like me, and maybe I felt like I was healing a little bit slower than other people that I had seen on videos on YouTube. So week 4, you kind of getting a little bit more independence. Also, you're going to be trying to sit upright for short periods of time after surgery. It's recommended that you sit upright for 30 minutes at a time. You're going to be stretching that probably to an hour or more. For myself, I would sit for 30 minutes, have my meal, whether it's lunch or dinner, and then I would sit the remainder watching Netflix or YouTube or anything like that, or reading a book if you'd like to. You stretch it a little bit, but if you sit too long, you'll actually feel it in your back. Week 4, I believe, the end of week 4 might have been around Christmas time. I did go to a girlfriend's house for dinner and I really overdid it. I sat way too long and I really had to recover for the next day and a half. I didn't want to be rude because it was Christmas and we were having fun, and yeah, I overdid it. So my recommendation is trust your body, know your limits. And if you do, it's okay. I did look it up. If you do sit a little bit too long and you are in pain, you haven't done anything to harm your back. It's just that you are going to be in pain and have to have some relief. Talk to your doctor about it. It seems to be okay. It's just that you overdo it for your own body and exhaust it. So I think week 3 and week 4, it was kind of like stretching it from an hour to a little bit longer. I found for myself, the longest I could go was 2 hours. And 2 hours was kind of stretching it. Week 3, definitely not 2 hours. Week 3 was definitely about an hour. Week 4, was stretching it to 2 hours and I overdid it. So, try not to overdo it. Figure out how long you can go, adding a little bit more time. I kind of was able to figure it out by when friends dropped by with, tea or cookies or something like that. And you actually do feel it. You do feel the compression of your spine. You've had this surgery to decompress your spine, and you have compression when you sit upright. And when you walk, you're quite upright as well. I actually found standing and walking was easier than sitting. And you get stronger as you go along. So again, week 3 was a little bit harder. Week 4, you get a little bit more. Again, if you look at things day by day, things seem to be tough. Things seem to be hard. You might have a good day and a bad day. Like myself for week 4, when I overdid it, I had a bad day. I overdid it. So obviously I had to recover the next day and a half, and that was quite upsetting for me because it was like, why did you do that? But you know what? You're trying. You want to be a little more social because you've been cooped up in your house for so long. So it's nice when you can have friends drop by, or you're a little bit more mobile and can go to a friend's house. I found week 3 and week 4, it's best to have people come to your house because you're still mobile and you're moving, but you're still not where, you're used to being. So take it easy. And then, recovery will be a little bit better. Week 3 and week 4 were probably my hardest times mentally. Physically, you're still healing and you still can't do a whole lot, and you've been doing it for 3 or 4 weeks. Week 4 probably was my worst week in having mental breakdowns. Frustrated that I can't sleep well. I'm still in pain. It hurts. Why did I go through this? All that stuff starts going through your mind. And honestly, I had to tell myself to stop it. I had to tell myself, you're going to get better. You have to put yourself in a positive mindset. Watch inspirational videos like I did. You watch inspirational videos. You watch videos to uplift you. You watch encouraging people. There's a whole lot on YouTube that can be inspirational. Learn to meditate. During COVID, I thought, I'm going to learn to meditate. So it was good that I had already learned that before having my surgery, because there were times where it was just so painful and everything hurt and everything was throbbing. And I just was like, no, you can't go there. Week 3 and week 4 probably were my toughest times, just because you are still in pain and you're healing, and you kind of feel like you can't do anything about it. You can't go out, you can't drive, you can't you can't do a whole lot because you're still in pain, and it's frustrating. It honestly is frustrating. And really, I think the only people that really understand what you're going through are people that have had surgery, whether it's knee surgery, back surgery, hip surgery. Most of those people have gone through what you're going through at the time. So that's kind of when I think I started to look and research videos too of after surgery, and partly why I'm making these videos, to tell you you're not alone. You know, what you're going through is normal, but if you need help, seek some therapy. You can do Zoom therapy. Just ask friends for help. If you need things from the grocery store, ask friends or family to help you get them and pick them up. So we're lucky to be living in a day and age where we have devices that we can order food in, we can order groceries in, we can order now things from the pharmacy. So take advantage of all that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to ask your friends and family, because they do want to help you. They do want to be there for you. So week 3, week 4, toughest times for me, but you do get through it. You definitely get through it, and as tough as it is, you can make it, and you will feel better. And at this time, you're kind of wondering, am I ever going to feel better? But it does get better. That's what I'm here to tell you. It does get better. I'm currently filming this starting my week 11, and I can definitely tell you it gets better. So that's week 3 and week 4. It's kind of a little bit shorter than week 1 and week 2 were, but you know, you're going through a lot of healing and things are getting better. So just keep at it, keep going. You know, in a few weeks, you'll start physical therapy and things will get better. You just walk as much as you can without overdoing it. Try not to overdo it, because when you overdo it, you kind of set yourself back. So walk a few laps around your house or your apartment, take a break, then walk a little bit later in a couple hours. And while you're lying in bed, if you read, you can watch YouTube videos, you can do inspirational things. If you want, you can make a video too for other people to encourage them as well. So that's week 3 and week 4. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, and if you'd like, subscribe, because the other weeks will be coming up. I appreciate your likes and that you're watching this video. Thanks, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.